Good day guys, my name is Lord Tommy here with a Sonic the Hedgehog announcement for competition numero 4, or number 4. As we also have the little blues here, good old Sonic the Hedgehog. He's always in all my videos, very important. So before obviously I announce who wins, first, second and third prize and a possible fourth prize per se, I'll explain more or less. I would obviously like to say first and foremost thanks to every single person who partook in this competition. I do appreciate your feedback and I do appreciate your entries and obviously the heart that you put into it. It's one of those things where it was great to watch, great to read and those sort of things, and I honestly do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It just shows me the sort of great community that's currently out there, opposed to maybe some other communities out there which I'm also not going to talk about, but for the general part, thank you so dearly for the actual entry and the effort that you placed in. Now, obviously, if you just want to know who came first, second, third prize and a possible fourth prize, I'll explain that later. Of course, you can fast forward either halfway or 3/4 of the video when I announce the winner and announce more or less the reasoning behind it. Alternatively, you can obviously check the comments. I'm definitely going to have who came first and their obviously entry and whatnot. But before we get into the reasoning why and who came first and whatever, I'm going to give you obviously what started off my Sonic the Hedgehog collection / fandom and what made me continue. Now, with most obviously people, with most generations really, maybe the first generation or the second generation of Sonic the Hedgehog fans. With me, it all started with Sonic the Hedgehog, the original game for the Sega Mega Drive. It was called Sega Mega Drive here in Australia, Sega Genesis elsewhere, but in Australia it was called more or less Sega Mega Drive. What started the fandom for me at the time was that was a gift given to myself, and my 3 other siblings, my older brother, sister, and my younger sister, as kind of like a collection of presents all in one. Like, so we never got Christmas presents, we never got birthday presents. It was kind of like the present for all of us, as it were, because it was pretty much expensive there. It was the first game that really captured for me video gaming, because obviously the normal video games, or if the video games are called, were like tiles and cards back in the day. But it was definitely the game that pretty much kind of more or less sealed me into liking Sonic, not necessarily becoming a fan, but liking Sonic as a character itself. I can tell you countless of pretty much interesting events. For example, we didn't know how to defeat Dr. Robotnik at the time. We thought we had to jump into his little, floating, little capsule thing. That's a little hovercraft to beat him up, and only then did we realize, we just had to hit the body enough times to basically destroy him, which was pretty funny because we always died at that stage. But yeah, if you wanted me to obviously make a kind of like my experience with that game sort of commentary, hey look, leave me a comment, I'll definitely be able to do something like that. But that's more or less what started my Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, my fandom initially just kicked in. I enjoyed him throughout the primary school. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog even when the Sony PlayStation came out, even when the Nintendo 64 came out, even when the Sega Saturn came out. I was still playing the good old Sega Mega Drive. I was buying games for like $5 when games were more expensive back then, but I was playing $5. But what really kicked it off was when I first wanted to get a Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Mega Drive. There was a Sega Saturn version, of course, but I wanted to get it for the Sega Mega Drive, and I didn't have any ways to buy it. There was no place there to buy it, so a friend of mine bought it off eBay for, surprise, I even still have the game for $70 in mint condition, the box, the cartridge, and the actual the casing. And I was super ecstatic to get it and go home and play it. It was one of the games that, admittedly, it wasn't the fastest compared to the actual genre, but it was a game that I thoroughly enjoyed, like religiously. That was my first collection piece, as it were. That was the first piece that really triggered it off. But in essence, the main reason that I'm still stuck with Sonic is simply because Sonic the Hedgehog, even his character and the various characters but specifically Sonic the Hedgehog, to me, he embodies the element of the purest form of what a hero is. By that I mean point of reference would be the first Sonic the Hedgehog game. He put his life through, you know, hell pretty much, just to destroy all the badniks and free his animal friends, and even defeat Dr. Robotnik, I was going to say, Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik at the end, and save all his friends and celebrate and enjoy their company as a whole without wanting or expecting anything in return. Even if you successfully 100% complete the game by collecting all the 6 Chaos Emeralds, which was 6 at the time, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 6 at the time, you pretty much normalized the environment. You basically changed the environment back to normal, and he was celebrating with his friends around there. He didn't expect anything, he just wanted to be, he just did it out of his own good heart. Sure, you could say, oh, you know, Mario did that as well, but in reality, with Mario, you just had Bowser and all his various minions, like his, you know, Koopa Troopers and all that sort of stuff, and he literally destroyed them, killed them, hundreds if not thousands of them throughout the course of his journey, just to save one princess. And all you mainly got, I don't know about the future Mario games, but in the beginning all you normally got was just him there with his princess. He just wanted to save his princess, and all you got was congratulations. So I guess with Mario it's kind of like, I know I'm looking into this way too much, but that's how I saw it as a kid, and that's more or less how I say it now. With Mario, you kill millions to save one, when Bowser has done nothing but capture a princess. That doesn't ring a bell with me. At least with Sonic the Hedgehog, you destroy the badniks but free the creatures within, not harming the creatures, destroying metal in a cage, an embodiment of those chains that held those creatures in. Just to he even goes so far to, like, even in Mario, you know, takes down Bowser and Bowser goes into lava, but with Dr. Eggman, he just lets him escape time and time again, because he's not that sort of person to want to kill, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? So he's also, that's a part of it, but the majority of the reason is Sonic the Hedgehog more or less embodies the spirit that I could never be. Obviously, as you probably know, I do boxing, physical sports, and I'm obviously a bouncer for clubs and pubs around here in Sydney, and I've obviously seen the worst in humanity, but he's more or less the embodiment of what I can never be in real life. He's a purest, carefree sort of person that tends to help everybody, and for the most part I like to think I am, obviously to the people around me, the close enough to me. However, I'm more of a station guy. That's why I can relate more to Knuckles than at all. Knuckles is kind of thick-headed. I'm oddly enough thick-headed and stubborn, and he's more or less the strength, whereby I do boxing. But he's kind of a, Sonic to me is kind of a symbol of hope for humanity, if you can really call it that. What humanity should be, not what it possibly can be. That's why I probably much collect all my Sonic the Hedgehog items. It's kind of a reminder that obviously there is hope, pretty much. To keep it simple, yeah, that's pretty much what captures me to Sonic. He's pretty much a hope giver. Hope, you know, he brings hope to whoever enjoys him. I guess that's why a lot of people enjoy his games, or collect his comics, or collect his merchandise, because he does bring hopes. You know, from the games of you know Sonic Heroes, from the games, even the newest ones, Sonic Generation. When all seems doom and gloom, he brings hope. You know what? I think I hit an epiphany there. I think that's what it is. Anyway, so that's my reason. I know I probably ranted on enough, and you guys probably got bored from it. Anyway, let's get into the actual prizes, right? Now, as I mentioned, there is a first, second, and third prizes. If you want to know who wins, just check the comments. It's pretty much. If you want to know the reasons, continue watching. Now, first prize is, in my opinion. Now, before I continue, I just want to establish, obviously, when I mean creativity. Once again, I'm not bashing anybody. Creativity is subject to everyone, but in my ideas, creativity is a fusion of both the abilities that you currently have with the tools that you currently have. Okay, sorry, I'll repeat that again. The abilities you currently present with the abilities you currently possess with the tools you currently have to express your inner self. That to me is what creativity is. Obviously, if you don't have the craziest amount of tools, that doesn't mean you obviously are the you're creative. You know, you're able to make do with what you have. So once we establish that, so number one, or the winner of the first Sonic the Hedgehog competition prize for this one, number one, would have to be given to a English girl. Is she from the UK? I'm pretty sure she's from the UK. Anyway, her name's Orange, or her alias is Orange Hedgehog 2012 or 2012. Now I have taken the courtesy to, obviously scan it, and I will have her channel and her entry as well. She sent me an email, and it pretty much encapsulated her passion for Sonic by characterizing within itself. Obviously, this girl clearly loves Orange, obviously by the title Orange Hedgehog. For the most part, the actual email was all orange, and she basically more or less outlined the reasons why she enjoyed Sonic. Now the beauty to this entry, in my, this is why I picked it as number one, is simply because she did it in kind of a history sort of first person journey sort of aspect. To me, that more or less embodied the spirit of Sonic, in the sense that Sonic the Hedgehog is within a journey. That's what it is. There's no end, there's always a journey. And the way she explains it is more or less in a storytelling manner, where basically she kind of puts it in herself, and it's pretty adorable to actually. You can definitely check it out, download it, expand it, you can read it for yourself. I think it's pretty ingenious the way she did it. She obviously added pictures, and she's obviously added the reasons, and to be directly honest, it's one of those things where you can't really talk about. It's one of those things you just have to read. I think it's extremely adorable, to be honest, and the way she embodied the aspect of Sonic into her own personal perspective in her life in terms of the actual thing, I highly commend it. That's number one. So I was just checking out the entry as well. Now the second prize was pretty much a given in my personal view. Once again, this person. I will obviously link his video channel. You guys should definitely check it out as well. I think he's quite the talented person when it comes to videos and music and that sort of stuff. Unlike me, I just use a webcam. Wow, that's my my take to humanity. The person's name, I want to apologize if I pronounce this wrong, is Dixon. No, sorry, Jonathan Dixon. Dixon, D-I-X-O-N. Yeah, Jonathan Dixon. Now, what's extremely adorable about this video, and I know this sounds a bit for me using that word adorable, is he actually has a video of him. I would believe it's his father recording him and his sister opening up the Sega Genesis, and him being, the kid that he is. He's just embodies the actual aspect of the actual console. He's like a kid enjoying the console, and throughout the whole video you just have him enjoying the console, playing the video games. It doesn't actually outline too much. It doesn't actually written anything to explain why he enjoys it. It's kind of a journey within itself. It's about 2 minutes and 33 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, where basically you just have him playing the game. What started it and what continued it is obviously Sonic the Hedgehog 3, if I remember the video correctly, and even has a picture that he still has as when he was a kid. And you know what? Absolutely superb. It's kind of like, it's one of those things where you don't necessarily need to explain why you like Sonic and why you continue to like Sonic. It's kind of just like a kid's facial expressions, a person's inner spirit is enough to really show you that. So yeah, I'll link his video. Definitely worth a try. I do believe it deserves more views than what it has, but that's that. The third prize was kind of a mini tie between another person. I tossed and turned. I was just like, you know what, I really couldn't do it. But at the end, I kind of made the winner of the third prize, and obviously I kind of did a consolation prize for the fourth prize. The third prize, you will get everything that you saw in my previous video, and I will need to give this to silvershadowsmoon. She more or less did kind of like a semi-word picture sort of entry. It's on a DeviantArt. I will link that as well. Definitely worth a try. If you have a DeviantArt, you can definitely leave a comment. There's a reason why I link people's entries, so you can definitely check it out, and you can definitely leave positive feedback to them. If not, why not, right? What's adorable is she embodies more or less, she drew a picture of obviously Sonic the Hedgehog, and she more or less gave a reason. And to be honest, the reason why I picked this as the third prize is opposed to the other entry, which I will tell her, of course, is the honesty, the direct honesty that she actually basically said. For example, she said she sincerely didn't know that Sonic even existed until she found a show called Sonic X. So there was obviously a gap between those 2 points, but it's extremely well done, drawn, extremely well vivid in terms of the colors, and so she obviously put a bit of effort. I kind of got a hint that she's into Shadow, as most girls are. I guess that's their thing. I would like to think so, because at the very bottom she basically more or less writes, and also the love for some certain characters. Yeah, she's a Sonic fan. I mean, she is a Shadow fan, which is interesting because I'm probably gonna actually, my next competition has actually a few Shadow stuff, so I'm guessing she's gonna rock that one up. I have no idea. And she was definitely gonna get a third prize. Now there is a fourth prize, fourth consolation prize. What he will get is just a few comics, Sonic the Hedgehog comics, nothing major. Now the good thing about this is, since I felt it was pretty awesome, every single person, first, second, third, and fourth prize will get a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Obviously, I will send them out based on rarity. Like this is issue 41 of the Archie comics, which is I think worth $50 if I'm not mistaken, $60 depending on the seller. So every single person, it will be random. I'm not going to that will be the surprise. I'm not going to tell you which comic you have, but every single person is going to get a comic, and how much it is, how much of each is dependent on me. But you're going to all entries, first, second, third, and fourth prize all getting comics. Fourth prize will just get about, I don't know, a couple of comics, 3, 4, I don't know. I'll think of something. So you there. This person is by the name of Sonic and Shadow for the win. The reason I was mixing and turning between him and, of course, silvershadowsmoon is simply because he obviously put a lot of effort into his entry on pictures and whatnot, and what he thought was, what I really enjoyed. I did find that extremely adorable in terms of, well, I don't necessarily like using that word adorable, but you get what I mean. It was extremely, straightforward as to why he liked Sonic the Hedgehog and why he collects his thingy. I would have preferred, obviously, if he added more of a detail. I guess that was kind of the underlining factor why he didn't win third person, but he will get a few comics, so I figured why not. For everybody else, thanks for entering. I really do appreciate that you have entered and whatnot. If I could, I'd probably give out more prizes, but obviously, it was kind of third for first, second, third, and alright. I will make other competitions in the future. I do have another one. I have 2 of these. I have one that I bought for myself, and I bought another one, which is, as you can probably see, a Sonic Color Games and Sonic Sega brand new condition, besides it's missing its cover, from France, sort of package shows. So this is one going to be one of the prizes when I create another Sonic the Hedgehog competition. So stay tuned. So it's definitely not going to be one-off sort of thing. Anyway, guys, once again, I do appreciate you watching my videos. No feedbacks and anything, and thank you so much for watching. And guys, for the guys who won, I'm going to send them a personal message just requesting for postage and information so I can post it out. That's all you need to do. And guys, I will send you those PMs a couple of hours after I posted this video, just so I can rearrange things. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry this video is probably one of the longest videos, but I think it's worth a catch. Anyway, guys, take care and speed on.